It was a Thursday afternoon. 80-year-old Omar Manan was taking a shower when this happened. Omar's wife rushed to the scene.
Abang? Abang?
Within seconds, Asma collapsed too. A while later, their son arrives with his daughter as he could not reach them over the phone. Sensing something amiss, he forces his way into his parents' home. But the 45-year-old also collapses. All three of them died.
On 10th December 2020, tragedy struck at this residential block in Jurong West. The cause of death? Electrocution by their water heater.
My mom was crying when she told me like what happened. She know her because they used to reading Quran together.
Ever since the incident has happened, are you now more worried about your water heater?
My parents lah. I'm mainly worried for them because I always tell them, make sure your hands are pretty dry before you switch off or on the whole thing.
Did you come home and check your own water heater?
My son cut the water heater already.
Oh.
My son's so scared.
Yeah, of course.
When my grandson want to bathe, I cook for him water. Hot water.
Okay. So you dare not use water heater already?
Then
Since 2014, all electrocution deaths at HDB flats have been linked to water heaters. So in this episode, I want to find out how safe my water heater is. Can it kill me when I least expect it?
Electrical engineer Wang Gu Cheng is running some tests for me.
When does an electric shock become deadly?
It depends on how much current passes through our body. And roughly, it's about 0.1 ampere.
Well, how much is 0.1 ampere?
0.1 ampere roughly can light up a bulb.
So it's actually quite a low current, but that's enough to be deadly.
Yes, exactly. A water heater is roughly around 14 to 20 amperes. But I think it's not only about the ampere, the current drawn by the water heater, but also how much is leaked to human body. That is the most important part.
What do you mean by leakage?
What I mean leakage is the current flows through outside of the wire. If a human touch that, maybe they get shocked. It's like a bullet. You don't need 10 bullets to kill a person. 1 bullet is enough. The problem is, while you are using water heater, you are wet. Let me show you. I put these 2 poles into the water, and you can see the light is turned on. And this is the current that can pass through. The water is about 0.1 ampere.
If I leave my fingers in here in the water for a few minutes, would I die?
It's enough to kill 1 person. Water is a good conductor of electricity.
Yikes.
So if electricity happens to leak as it travels from the power source to your water heater and you come into contact with it, the likelihood of you being fatally electrocuted is higher if you're wet.
So what's the most common way for electricity to leak?
In the recent deaths related to water heater, it's because the user used a tripping plug. I will open it and show you what is inside.
Sure.
Inside, they have a 30 ampere fuse. The cable is not designed for any current more than 30 ampere. But for most of the water heater, it's about 40 to 20. If the current is too high, and the insulator of this cable will start to melt. Let me demonstrate to you what will happen if we overload a cable using tripping plug. Wait for a while because the temperature is increased. But it's about 180 Celsius degree already. See, it starts melting. Yeah, you see?
Wow. It's totally melting through the whole cable.
Yeah. Let's take a look what happened inside of it.
Yes,
Okay, let me take out it. All the cable has fused together and melts together.
You can see the insulation is all worn off. It's all black.
There are 3 wires, live, neutral, and earth. By right, the earth is supposed to carry the current to the ground.
So the earth wire is supposed to sort of keep us from getting a shock because it's grounded, right?
Yeah. But if the earth melt with a live wire,
Okay.
then potentially the whole casing of the water heater will become live. And then that is quite dangerous. To demonstrate to you, we speed up this process. In our normal usage, it won't happen immediately. It may take a year or even few years happen. That's the most dangerous part because for the first day you use, you feel it's okay. The right way we connect to a water heater is a double pole switch. So the difference about this is this one can take the current is up to 20 ampere, which is enough for the water heater.
Does that mean if I have one of these, I'm safe, I'm fine?
Not exactly, because you also need to check your water heater itself and maybe the cable. There's a lot of different components may affect your safety.
It seems that anyone could be at risk. This worries me enough to get my own water heater checked. So I'm calling in a water heater specialist.
There's a risk of burning. I would consider it as a fire hazard.
Water heaters come in two main types. Tankless or instant water heaters take up less space, so they are mostly installed in HDB flats. In tankless water heaters, cold water flows through a heating element that is typically powered by electricity, providing an unlimited supply of hot water instantly. Storage water heaters take up more space, but provide a steady flow of hot water at higher pressures, perfect for water heaters with rain showers. For storage water heaters, cold water is heated and stored and reheated when needed. Does the type of water heater make a difference in how safe they are?
So I've got a water storage heater up here. I've had it for about 3 years now. It hasn't been checked in quite a while, so I think I should get it checked today.
I've called in water heater specialist Pik Chun Heng.
To ensure the safety, the first thing we got to check will be the RCCB in the distribution box.
That's like the circuit breaker, right?
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
over here. Right behind.
I would like to test if the heater is really linked to this RCCB. Right now, when I turn on the heater switch, the light is on.
Yeah, okay.
To test if the circuit is protected by the RCCB, I will have to press the RCCB test button to trip it to see if this light is being cut off. If this light is being cut off, that means this circuit, this heater circuit is being protected.
Okay, let's find out.
All right, Supa, please.
That's off already.
Off. So
Okay.
it's safe. In the event where there's any current leakage, you will activate and trip the whole circuit and to ensure the safety.
In previous cases of electrocution by water heater, the RCCBs were either wrongly installed or faulty.
First thing, let's check the isolator.
Isolator is good.
Okay, second, please check the wire size from the isolator to the heater.
That's 1.5.
Can you check again to confirm it's 1.5?
Just very small.
So you've done the inspection. Am I good?
Nearly. We look at the electrical connection and we found out that the wire used to connect to the heater is not of this specification. This is a 2.5 mm.
Oh.
Okay, what you have right now is a 1.5 mm. Yeah, it's not suitable for high current item like heater. Yes.
Okay. So my wire is too thin.
Yes, when the current is high, it will overheat and
Okay.
will start to burn. I would consider it as a fire hazard.
So that one I definitely need to get changed.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, which is safer? You know, the storage water heater like the one I have or the instant water heater?
The chance of storage heater causing an electrocution is very low because all the pipework are joined to a mixer which is connected to the incoming water, which is ground.
Right, yeah.
Whereas for instant heater, the only contact point is your hand
Yeah.
and the heater.
Ooh, okay, that sounds scary. Okay,
Yeah.
so 1-0 to the storage water heater.
Okay, number 2 is the chance of explosion.
Yes.
Okay, storage heater has a chance of explosion and it happened a few times before.
In 2017, a storage heater at a Marine Parade condominium ruptured. The explosion was so strong that it shattered glass doors and windows.
What can cause a storage heater to explode? Scenario 1 is when the drain pipe is connected,
Yep.
the installer did not check if the drain pipe is unobstructed.
Oh, meaning at the end of the pipe.
Yeah, at the end, when the drain pipe in the wall is obstructed, it doesn't allow the pressure to release, and the pressure will continue to build up, and it will explode when it's too high.
Yeah,
Number
makes sense.
2 is some of the installer just do not install the drain pipe at all.
Oh, just like that?
Yeah.
Wow,
So
all right.
when they release the steam, they will have some water droplet,
Yeah.
and it will land on the ceiling and it will cause the wet patches. The handyman said, yeah, I will stop the water from dripping. So they close it up so the water will stop dripping, but closing up the pressure relief valve will stop the pressure being released.
Okay.
So the pressure will continue to
So-
build up to beyond, then it will explode.
And boom, it
Yes,
goes.
instant heater doesn't have a check valve and it doesn't have a tank to store the pressure, to build up the pressure. So come to explosion, instant heater is safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ding ding, 1-1. Okay.
Yeah. On the fire risk, both the heater draw high current. So if the electrical are not done correctly, not using the correct specification wire, there is a fire hazard.
Sounds like actually it's not so much the water heater itself, but how they are installed.
Electrical work has to be done by licensed electrical worker, and the plumbing work has to be done by PUB licensed plumber to ensure the safety. Yeah.
How often are all these water heaters installed by unlicensed plumbers and electricians?
In every 10, could be 9 of them.
Really?
Yeah, you just simply Google water heater Singapore. Most of the advertisements are done by unlicensed people.
There are more risks to a water heater than just electrical leakage. When poorly installed, they could cause fires or even explosions.
The thing is, I don't actually know who installed my water heater, as I left all the renovations to my contractor. So if not for this episode of Talking Point, I wouldn't have bothered to check it at all. And to think that unlicensed workers might have used the wrong wiring and that it could have led to a fire, now that's really scary.
In 2021, there were 17 cases of fires involving water heaters in our homes. That's more than one case every month.
I'm on my way to meet one family who had a rather fiery encounter with their water heater.
Mooty's storage water heater was already fixed when he moved into this 9-year-old resale flat in April 2021.
Hey, hi Steve, come in.
Thank you.
We just did some minor renovations, but we did not do anything about the electrical part.
Including the water heaters, you didn't even think about it.
Yeah, because it looks very brand new.
That's until a fire broke out about a year later in November.
So my son was actually bathing. Then he was telling me, there's fire in the toilet. So when we came in, we saw some small sparkles of fire. Immediately, I brought my family members out of the house. In just 2 minutes, it became more worse. The fire was so big. I can show you some pictures. The soot was coming everywhere. There was smoke everywhere.
Oh, that was it, on fire?
Yes.
Okay, oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah.
So what did you do next?
Immediately, my wife, she went out. She turned off the main supply. Since we were sure that we have turned off the power, we took some water and extinguished the fire first.
Wow, so imagine if it went on for another 2-3 minutes.
I'm sure the whole house would have caught fire.
Yikes. So did you discover exactly what caused the fire?
Yeah, it was the wiring fault, loose wiring, and too much power was supplying for the circuit. Water heater is supposed to only support 20 ampere.
Okay.
For else, this was 32 ampere. To make it worse, I have two switches down here. One is here, another one is in my master room. So if it's like both is open at the same time, it goes even more higher at 64 amperes. It's like you're using two batteries for one phone to charge.
Before that, were there any, telltale signs that perhaps the heater wasn't working or something was wrong?
No, there were no telltale signs. Everything was working perfectly fine.
Since the fire, Muti spent more than 2,000 Singapore dollars getting a licensed electrician to rewire his entire home and install a new water heater. I'm about to find out what it really takes to install a water heater safely by being protege to a licensed electrician.
Wire broken. That means inside something broken. Something is very fishy. Something is wrong.
To find out just how much skill it actually takes to install a water heater, I'm shadowing a licensed electrician for a day.
So actually, how do I know? How do I know whether you're really a licensed electrician?
Oh, he's here. This is the license. All licensed electricians will have one. And you can check it out on the EMA website to see whether is it valid. Some actually expired.
Oh, because there's a license number here.
Yeah. Then
So I can search the number and your name will show up and all that.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to get this license?
It took me about 7 years. But some can't even get it after 16 years.
Ah, 6 years?
Yeah, not just the cost. We need to go for an interview and a test with the Energy Market Authority. Because it's very stringent, okay? First thing, they are handling you a license that you could kill someone easily if you make a mistake.
Wire and bag. All right, got it.
Hello. We are here for electrical work.
Come in. Hello.
Teo is installing an instant water heater for this home.
Okay, first thing we need to do is to make sure that the system is grounded. All this metallic pipe is grounded. If there's a fault in the system, okay, the electricity will flow into the metallic hose. And if it's not grounded, you will get electrical shock.
Oh, so it would dissipate the electricity into the ground and not to me if I touch it.
Correct. This is grounded. Okay, you see the reading is very low, 1 ohm. Light to neutral.
1.15.
1.15.
You can see. So 1.15.
Do it again.
1.20.
Train the wire. This one also not good. How come so high? Wire to wire have a short circuit. Open the trunking and check. No choice. This one something is very fishy. Yeah, wire broken. No, wire broken. That means inside something broken. This one must change, no choice. This one. Serious case.
So how's it going?
The internal of the wire, some of the strength has been damaged.
Why, is that dangerous?
If the wiring carrying capacity reduced, that means they got to work extra hard. When they work extra hard, heat will build up. And the worst part is when they give way, they will start a fire or they will get electrical shock.
So this issue, is it an installation problem?
Nope, it's actually wear and tear. As ages, the wire give way.
So would all electricians do all these checks that you're doing? Especially this one?
Only the license, they have a proper procedure that we learn. Okay?
Yeah.
And all the safety check that we need to conduct before we energize the circuit again.
To be fair, a licensed technician may also be a bit lazy and not do these checks, right?
Yes. But then the unlicensed, definitely they won't be able to tell. Because some of them, they never go through courses. This equipment anybody can buy. But to use it, to understand all this knob and what does it do, that requires skill, that requires education. I think there's no issue with the electrical staying.
Our second home visit involves installing a storage water heater.
Any wires?
We are also meeting a licensed plumber.
According to PUB's regulations, the installation of storage water heaters must be carried out and supervised by a licensed plumber. And our guide today is licensed plumber Tang Wah Kiong.
Shall we go?
Yeah, sure. From the photos that I've gotten a few days ago from the owner, I have to draw the safety items.
Okay, so this sort of specifies exactly how you're going to install the new water heater.
Correct. This is the reply from PUB that my submission is successful.
So earlier today we installed an instant water heater, but we didn't have to do these drawings. How come?
Instant heater only supply to one point. Whereas for a storage heater, you use for multiple points. That means to say you use in your shower area, your basin, right? And not just that, sometimes your bathtub.
The storage tank is part of a more elaborate, complicated system. All right, that's it.
Yes.
Let's get to work.
Good.
Right. So are we ready to put in the new tank?
This is called a pressure relief valve.
Okay.
When the water tank is overheated, this will release the pressure. All right. If this does not function, the water tank will be very dangerous.
You can
Cause
explode.
explosion. And a few of those unlicensed plumber will not understand.
Oh, so you're saying sometimes they don't even install this?
They don't.
Oh no.
Steve, all the wiring are done correctly.
Okay.
So now we are going to just cover up and turn on the water heater.
Okay. Everything done?
Everything is done.
Yeah? Good. So actually, I've learned quite a few things, and I'm wondering why do people choose to use unlicensed, plumbers or electricians?
First of all, they will not know where to get the contacts.
If I hired you as a licensed plumber versus an unlicensed plumber for the same job, what's the price difference?
Costs 10% more because and I have to follow through everything.
Electrician?
100%.
100% more.
Yes, because for us, we have a lot of things to check. If you is a handyman or some other unlicensed, they might not go through 100% check.
I mean, a job that costs $100 with unlicensed will cost $200 with you.
Yes,
so,
correct.
Yeah, that's going to be hard for some people to accept.
Yes, it's very hard. That's why a lot of people will choose unlicensed person to do the job because they always have a perception thinking that it is a simple job. It is just connecting wire. What's so difficult about connecting wire?
Exactly the same for plumbers.
I've never given much thought to who's installing my water heaters or how safely they're installing it.
But now I realize it's also worth paying the price to have a licensed electrician and plumber install it and probably get them to check it every 2 to 3 years as well. And I can do my own self-checks too. For instance, make sure the pressure relief valve isn't dripping water because that could suggest a buildup of pressure, and take a sniff around because if you smell burning plastic, it might mean the wiring is overheating, and that's not good. And finally, turn off that water heater switch when not in use because an innocuous appliance like this could turn deadly.